Right.
You think that will move?
The Congress did something symbolic, but what it told us is where they stand. Where they stand is they do not care about people who do not have health care insurance. There are 50 million people, Dr. Haney, who do not have health care insurance. We cannot wait for them to get sick to go to the emergency room for them to get care. It will bankrupt our country. More money of our income is being utilized for health care than ever before. Health care costs are rising so much that employers can no longer afford to give them health care benefits. We have to do something, and repealing it without a replacement plan won't work.
In other words, to repeal it is almost to go back to where we were.
That's correct, which was a failed system. But let me tell you what the Republicans have proposed. I just want to tell you, their proposal will only give 3 million Americans health care, access to health care over the next 10 years. Obama's plan touches 33 million.
That's the difference between the two sides.
30 million difference.
That's a small, insignificant
You're right,
difference.
exactly right.
And as a matter of fact, since you've been involved with institutions of higher education, Meharry Medical College,
and Matthew Walker Comprehensive Health Center. Yep.
Well, what do you think about the state of financial state for many of our historically black institutions like Meharry and
Tennessee State,
etc.? What do you think about? Let's speak to that.
Well, it's a major challenge right now. What is happening is ever since President Barack Obama got elected president, some people feel like now we are a colorblind society. There's no longer any other racism. There are no communities that are underserved. Why do we need an HBCU when we finally have fulfilled the dream of Dr. King by electing President Obama? That's not the case. Electing President Obama has nothing to do with what's going on here in Nashville regarding the underserved community. We still need Meharry because it produces more black doctors than any other institution. Do you know where those black doctors go and serve? In the underserved communities where they are needed the most. So we need Meharry, we need TSU, and we need Fisk, we need American Baptist College. What we have to do, Dr. Haney, as our community, we have to stop blaming everybody else, and we have got to rally together to support our institutions of higher learning. What do I mean by that? By an individual, instead of buying a BMW, maybe I need to go ahead and just buy a Chevrolet and donate some money back to TSU and Meharry and Fisk University. Instead of going to Morton's, maybe I'll go to Ponderosa, save some of that money, and then donate, or utilize my skills and my abilities to rally the community together and say, I may not have $500 to give, but I got $50 to give. So then I need to get 100 people with $50, right? Right? In order to give, so that we as a community can appreciate our HBCUs. And then we have to have strong leadership. I'm happy about this interim president of TSU. I hope that she could come in and straighten the boat out and get everybody going in the same direction, moving in the same direction, because it's all about the students and it's all about our future. And so I hope that our leadership will realize they have to come back to the community. Without a vision, the people perish. Show us the vision of TSU. Show us the vision of Meharry. Show us the vision of Fisk and American Baptist College. And then as a community, we need to rally with them, amen, to make our institutions stronger and better to better serve our community.
You know, one final statement that we're looking for from you is something in reference to our participation in politics. Say something to especially the young people over the last couple of minutes we have about how important it is to register and to vote. As a person who's already involved in councilmanic activities, why is that important?
I've worked in 12 campaigns. It's hard to lead when nobody's following. Our young people have tuned us out because what they've seen us saying, we'll make promise after promise after promise and never deliver. Our politicians come into our communities once every 4 years asking for a vote. We never see them again. So the young people are saying, I don't see how my life is different. I don't see how my life has been impacted positively. You never come and serve in the community. You don't live in the community with us. You come and ask for our vote and then you leave and we don't see you again. You're like an absentee leader. Well, what we have to do, Doc, is we have to go and show the young people, show African Americans, show poor whites, show Hispanics that we not only are here to ask for your vote, we're here to serve you. We're here to make your community better. We're here to put in programs and initiatives that will show you that life and the quality of life for your community can be as good as anywhere else in the country. If we do that, then people will vote. But we've got to reach out to them. It's hard to get somebody and ask them to register to vote when you don't know them.
All right, all right.
So you have to get in the community.
Your very presence.
Your very presence, but it can't be there every time it's election time. And then what has happened to us is that the politicians and everybody always want to come right before election. No, be here when there's no election.
Okay, and
serve the community.
Of course, we're running out of time.
I talk too much.
And as a matter of fact, it's more information we'd like to hear from you. But
Yes,
of course, we're running out of time. We certainly appreciate you coming by and being with us today. And let me, during the this last half minute, not only thank you for coming by and being with us and making another appearance with us, and we look forward to seeing you again. And let me also encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.